Hello and welcome to BioStock. Imagine a woman 6 months pregnant, struggling with the pain of chronic migraine. She's ambitious and committed to her career. But the unpredictability of migraine episodes and the limitation of traditional treatments threaten her ability to work and enjoy her pregnancy. It is in such moments that innovative solutions like Chordate Medical migraine treatment come into sharp focus. Chordate Medical is at the forefront of non-invasive treatment for chronic migraine and rhinitis. The company's main technology involves the use of kinetic oscillation stimulation, KOS, to reduce symptoms without need for surgery or drugs. And today I sit down with the CEO of the company, Anders Weiland. Thank you so much, Anders, for being here with us.
Thank you.
Okay, you released some news recently, very cheerful news, and you got the Saudi FDA approval for Ozilia, which is your migraine treatment. Can you share how this milestone positions Chordate in the market, specifically when it comes to Middle East?
Sure. And it was, I must say first, a little bit of a surprise. This approval came a little earlier than we anticipated. The Saudi FDA have just recently gone through yet another level of improvement in their procedures, and we ended up in the midst of that. So we were very happy to receive this on a Monday, or actually Sunday. Now we will get it to work immediately, and we have prepared this for quite some time. As we base all we do in our focus markets on study activities or earlier market activities, and certainly in Saudi it's the penetration with the rhinitis indication that has been going on for several years now, which we now can build on. So for us this is a fantastic thing, and we can immediately start expanding on it.
And have you already received any feedback from the healthcare in Saudi?
Well, as we have for quite some time now built relationship with neurologists, key opinion leaders, and an important clinic, both on the private side, which is a huge portion of the healthcare delivery in Saudi, but also on the equally important public healthcare system. As we since long have had the approval of this Ministry of Health in Saudi for the rhinitis indication, this now makes it an easier transfer to also include the migraine in there. That added with the fact that we have reimbursement from large and very important insurance companies on the private side, it's actually just building on that. So I anticipate that this will be a relatively fast project to actually also introduce the migraine indication.
Can I ask why Saudi Arabia?
Well, it's opportunistic, like the selection of all our focus markets are. We believe that it's better to be active where we can foresee an early penetration rather than looking at geography or volume of inhabitants or something like that. And opportunistically, we had early successes with rhinitis in Saudi based on the fact that rhinitis is a pronounced problem in all of the Gulf region due to environmental aspects. So we early on got notable traction on it. Kind of unexpected also, but also thanks to good work with the people that we work with in the country. So now we just add upon that, and we'll see how fast we can introduce Ozilia to the migraine market in Saudi. That's going to be very exciting to follow.
And I wonder, how are you going to place Ozilia? Is it going to be like a second-line treatment for those 30% of patients that do not respond to CGRP pathways, or are you going to place it as a like first line?
Well, it's not so much for us to say, because in the migraine treatment arena, it's more a matter of trying to find something that works for a patient. It is so that none of the alternatives have more than 50% response, which is kind of unusual if you compare to other disciplines. So this is more or less a lifelong struggle for the patient, together with the physician, to find the next thing that will work. Because medication, certainly pain medication, also have this profile of working for some years, maybe long, but then it tapers off and the effect disappears. So you have to find another one to ride on for a while. And this is how they are used to work together, that, well, I can't stand the side effects anymore. They are worse and worse. I need something else.
Yeah.
Or I don't feel that the effect is there anymore. I'm getting my headache back, and my migraine episodes are increasing. So I need something else. And this is the constant search for something else. And in that environment, if you include or offer another tool, in this case a drug-free opportunity, then that is very welcome, because the basic statement from a neurologist is, I need as many tools in my toolbox as possible.
So it can go like the first line, or it can be after all other things that you have tried.
Or a combination.
Or a combination.
Yes. So whatever works is kind of the word. Whatever works. And so we're not so concerned with sort of placing this against something in particular, rather than to be sure that this is an added alternative. But there are some important things. For instance, if you compare to what you see on the screen here, the Botox opportunity.
Yeah.
These are preventive drugs, and it's a quite impressive volume of business in the global market. And it's also growing very impressively.
So this 2.7 at 2022,
yes.
This is the Botox revenue.
The pink portion here is the Botox, which is another alternative. A lot of patients on Botox, and you can see their dominance and also the impressive growth that's projected. Botox is very similar to our treatment in terms of what it takes for the patient to do it. It's 4 times a year procedure, and that's similar to the average need for Ozilia. It takes about half an hour at the clinic, so you have to get to a clinic to do it. And it also includes the need for healthcare staff. In Botox case, it should be a specialist. In Ozilia's case, it can be done with a registered nurse. But you still have to go there. And that's different from any other medication that you take at home. So it's a fantastic benchmark for us to see that this is the volume that Botox represents and is projected by, in this case, Nature Reviews to see the coming years here. And it's in that segment where someone with the muscle big enough can also introduce Ozilia.
We compared this to Botox, but what about other neuromodulation devices? There are lots of them out there. What is the competition there?
Well, again, it may not be a matter of competition. It may be a matter of what works for you. But if you look at it as a comparative technology with there is a handful of other prominent products. They are mainly for acute use. Ozilia is for preventive use, periodic preventive use. So there is a great difference there. All the other alternatives on the medtech side, devices, are mainly for home care. And many of them are basically purchased by the patient themselves over internet. It's an online acquisition. Whereas we go through the clinic as a business model. It's a tougher business model, takes longer to build, but in our view, it's a more stable business model because it gets the approval of the clinical side, the healthcare. So if you compare the use from daily wearing of different types of other devices, you have them on your upper arm or around your forehead or plastered to your forehead. Mm-hmm. There are various types. Many of these regimes are daily use or when you have an episode. So it's a completely different animal to compare. We are the only, with Ozilia, the only clinical preventive periodic device.
So that's why you compare this to Botox, because then you can see the numbers, what are the possibilities for the future.
Exactly.
And if we go to the other great news you have hired a partner international as M&A advisor for the company's exit strategy.
Yeah.
So what motivates this decision now, and what specific values do you expect them to bring to Chordate?
Their job in this assignment is to scan the world for potential buyers, and this is a major task to do because we believe that a buyer of this is perhaps unknown to us, so we need to scan broadly, and Partner International have demonstrated over 24 years that they are very skilled in that search work, but they're also skilled in the reach part of this. That's how do you get through the door? How do you get to the right desk, talk to the right people? You have to have a well-educated and exercised network to do that. And we have made a very thorough search and selection, talked to a lot of these M&A advisors in the world, and landed on Partner International as the best fit for us, because it's also a matter of how you can project that the collaboration will be. Mm-hmm. We're a small organization, we are quite agile, but we also have a very tiny muscle when it comes of managerial resources. So we need a partner that understands us and vice versa, and that we can work together with in this quite long journey of finding a right partner.
But why even an exit? Why not building up this yourself?
And that is the central question, to be honest. We have published since 5 years now our 5-step strategy, and it's based on the notion that it simply takes too long to build up a company to start generating return on investments for our shareholders in the organic and traditional way. We believe that the safest way and the quickest way that we can deliver on the prospective expectation from the shareholder to have a good outcome of the investment is to actually plan for from get-go and execute on an exit. It may be different from other strategies, but the collective experience of the board and the management, this is the best way we can do it. And in order to do it, you need to have good advisors.
But even with the advisor, this is going to take a long time. Do you have any estimation? When can the investors expect an exit?
All we can say is that we have decided now that we have built up enough substance in our prior 4 steps in the strategy to reach this point where this is sensible to start. So the message is that we have initiated the exit process. It will be a long process. It will take time because we're looking for the best deal for our shareholders. Okay, so we thought that it's better that we start now when we feel confident about our evidence base, even though it is maybe a little early, and then do a thorough process together with PI, then Partner International, to start spreading this, because yes, the footwork of reaching out and getting contacts is going to take a considerable amount of time.
And Saudi Arabia will be a perfect proof of concept
Yes.
for the coming.
And the reason for this is the fact that we have come so far. I mean, we have the governmental approval for the product in use in the public healthcare. We have reimbursement for major, large, I mean, globally large insurance companies. And that's are kind of tick boxes in what you like to see when you are looking at the market penetration. So Saudi actually right now is in the lead of our proof building.
And what kind of buyer will be like the perfect fit, considering the huge potential that Chordate have in the future?
The perfect buyer is, of course, someone that with the highest valuation of the opportunity. So who could that be? I mean, yes, obviously there could be buyers in the medtech field, certainly in the neuromodulation or the neurodiagnostic field. They do exist in the medtech industry. Could of course be someone in the pharma industry, certainly with some mix of business models. But there is a third one, and that is portfolio building companies that are financially driven, that builds up strong therapy focused companies for probably later divestiture. But they add on technology and they build with market, they invest in marketing and sales muscles, and they build up a value that probably later will be divested. So there are a number of different types of groups of types of buyers. Could also be companies we have no idea about. I mean, there are quite a few companies in the world.
But how are the dialogue going on, if you can give us some insight? Is it like mainly focus on the migraine, or is it like the broader interest in the technology for other neurostimulation applications?
It's a little early to tell. My guess is that the weight on the migraine opportunity will probably be the dominant part in this discussion. I'm quite sure about that, but you never know.
And Calcil had recently published an analysis about Chordate. What are your thoughts, especially now, because this was in the beginning of the year and now you have new achievements?
Well, Calcil, which is a Swedish equity analyst firm, on our assignment, but they did an independent analysis of the company. I think they, in their quite substantial document, have shown the thought process of a buyer, and to do analysis of equity based from a perspective of the buyer side, it's quite rare, and it's also quite difficult to do. So I'm pretty pleased with their job. They did a thorough work and also the comparative work in terms of looking at other deals and valuation models and so forth. So for me, this is the way I like to see it, and I can strongly recommend that document for anyone that wants to sort of get a independent view on how you look at this value of Ozilia. And you can find it on our website and on theirs also. So it's hard to communicate a little bit out of the ordinary how value should be viewed. But this is the core job we have, is to create shareholder value. And they have actually shed some light on how that could be presented.
You have a huge market ahead and approvals. What else makes Chordate a good investment case?
I think in general it is the very simple but sweet and also transparent strategy that we now step by step have delivered upon, and we are now starting to deliver on the final step. And I think as an investor, that's something I would enjoy.
Thank you so much, and thanks for coming here, and good luck
Thank you very
with
much.
the exit.
Thank you.